What's happening, people? It's your boy, Brother Winston. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you can, please hit the like button, follow this page if you like the content. Let's get into this. Today we're talking about Bill Gates. This lady's going to explain some things about Bill Gates that I knew to a degree, but not like this, and I don't think that you maybe know also what she's about to say, yo. Let's hit play and let's see what she got to get into.
Bill Gates is not a philanthropist because he gives a little bit of money to take over entire sectors. I work on seed. The big seed banks are called the CJR system. He gives $1 million here, but he takes all the seeds of that system, the ICRISAT system. All of these seed banks of the world he now controls by giving a tiny bit. But that's not where he stops. He then promotes technologies for patenting, gene editing technologies, digital sequence technologies. So he controls.
Let's stop right there. She said gene editing technology. I didn't know it was that the first time. She said gene editing technology. Okay, as we can see right here, it says Bill Gates strongly advocates for using gene editing, particularly CRISPR, I guess that's how you say it, to improve good health and agriculture. Arguing that failing to use it would be a tragedy. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funds research into genetically modified crops. Okay, so that would just say, well, that's just crops, such as drought-resistant maize, the gene-based treatments for diseases like HIV and sickle cell disease. Let's stop her. Let's hit play again on what she's saying. So one thing we can know right here is that she is not lying. Let's hit play. She's telling the truth.
The seeds of the world. He finances the Svalbard seed bank. Then he creates patent systems. And he destroys the international system that controls the country's rights to their seed, the Convention on Biological Diversity, the FAO Treaty on Seed. He destroys and undercuts them so that all the seeds of the world are his seeds. And he can be the new Monsanto.
You heard that? Now, you know what Monsanto is? Monsanto is a huge company that has been polluting the world for years, that's had monopoly on all kind of seed and so on and so forth, and fertilizer for sure, okay? Now let's look at what she says right here. She says, let me go back here. Look at this part.
The Convention on Biological Diversity, the FAO Treaty on Seed. He destroys and undercuts them so that all the seeds of the world are his seeds. And
that's something, that all the seeds of the world could literally be this man's seed. That a man like Bill Gates, okay, a man who, let's just say, financially benefited from some of the events that happened 6 years ago, as I'm filming this in 2022, I'll just say that, okay? It had a lot to do with that. I'll just say that, so this video can be seen by y'all, okay? I'll just leave it at that, all right? The way that these platforms like to work, you gotta be careful how I say that. This man also has control over a lot of the seed that people are eating when it comes to whatever we're eating. Okay, let's hit play here.
He can be the new Monsanto on a global scale. He's the biggest farmland owner of America, but he's also the one who has created in his book How to Deal with a Climate Catastrophe. He cooked up a word which I had never heard before that, called net zero. And he said we have to solve climate problems by net zero. It doesn't mean we get rid of emissions. He flies a private jet and has all the private jet services on the world. He says it doesn't mean we'll stop polluting. He says it just means we have to find other people's lands for offsets to absorb our pollution. So he bought all the land in America, but he wants our land for carbon offsets. And this is the net zero they're trying to push in the climate discussions.
So that's the end of that video right there, okay? So essentially, like she said, let's go back one more time just to the end of what she's saying here.
Find other people's lands for offsets to absorb our pollution. So he bought all the land in America, but he wants our land for carbon offsets. And this is...
Now, when she says he bought the land in America, she's not saying he's bought your house and stuff like that, but she's saying that the open fields, the land, okay? Bill Gates has been grabbing these open land, like a lot of the open land that's in the Midwest, that's in the middle of America, where there's a lot of areas where there's states where there's not a lot of people in, but a lot of just open land. Bill Gates has been grabbing that land up, and why? Okay.
This is the net zero they're trying to pollution. So he bought all the land in America, but he wants our land for carbon offsets. And this is the net.
And look how she said it. He wants our land for carbon offsets. Now, a carbon offset, as she said, is basically a dumping site. All right? It's a dumping site. He sees a nation as a dumping site. So when people come and we say, like I said years ago, I made videos on things like this and what they were doing, and my videos were removed, okay, from platforms, and I have not been able to speak on them as I wanted to because of platforms like the one I'm on right now, YouTube, which would not allow me to say everything I want to say. Okay, I literally had my videos taken down, removed, and given a strike or a warning. I can't remember which one I got. I think it was a strike on my channel, which means that if I got 2 more, my whole channel will be deleted. Okay, just for talking about this stuff. All right, so you think that Big Brother and all that kind of stuff is not here? Oh, it's absolutely here. All right, it just depends on if you're the one trying to ring the alarm and sound the alarm, I should say, on, okay, Big Brother. All right, will you notice what's really going on? And it's only going to get worse. This is what the Bible says, only going to get worse. Okay, this man literally has said, I want to save people, I want to help people. And then he said 6 years ago, I want to help people, I want to help the world, all this kind of stuff. And we want to work with risk management and figure out how to overcome all this kind of stuff. But then she's explaining here, look, he basically is trying to use our nations, okay, to dump mess and carbon emissions on us. But those people are people too. But Bill Gates doesn't care about that. Bill Gates is an individual. He's like almost like a soulless individual. Okay, he really is. All right. And the big people in this, the so-called quote unquote big folks in this world, big people in this world, this is what they do. This is how they think. Now here's Bill Gates being questioned, okay, about working with that guy Epstein. All right. Look how he explains this.
The minute I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners.
Look how he says, you know what? I just regret that I did that. You know, the time that I stood with him, I just regret that I did that.
I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more...
Also, notice I said I never met any women. Okay? He could actually be telling the truth because he met young girls. So in that way, he's not lying, but it's how he words this stuff.
Clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior. He knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying...
Now, mind you, at one point, Bill Gates was the richest, if I'm not mistaken, he was the richest man in the world. Before, what's the guy's name? Before Elon Musk. All right, Bill Gates was the richest or one of the richest people in the world for decades. All right. So he saw him knowing, he's talking about Epstein, he talks about him, okay, him knowing many rich people, a lot of rich people, okay, it says rich people, and he was saying he could get them, okay, and all this kind of stuff, he could bring them, of course, all these different things that they thought were luxury items, which were young human lives, okay, people to actually hunt and so on and so forth and take advantage of in an evil manner, all right. Why would I trust what Bill Gates is saying here? Okay, I don't trust what he says, and neither should you, all right. You think about all that he's saying, all that's coming out here. If you look at all that's come out, I should say also, there have been files that have come out that have shown that Bill Gates and Epstein were having a conversation where they were saying, what could we do to basically make money and a profit off of reducing the world's population? Okay, that's what Bill Gates was having a conversation with Epstein about. All right. And he's sitting here, I look, at the end of the day, what he's really saying is that hopefully there's no evidence to prove that I was doing anything with this guy. I was very careful, okay? For all we know, Bill Gates could have had this guy removed from that prison, for all we know, okay? We don't know what's going on, all right? But he said, look, there's nothing going to follow me, and that's why I can speak in this manner, confidently.
He could get them to give people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. In retrospect, that was a dead end.
Okay, so yeah, he has to bring that up. Let's go back again.
And he could get them to do with that kind of behavior.
Actually, let's stop here. Okay, so he's basically saying that he and rich people to come to say they can help bring money to global health. Global health is what Bill Gates is either a part of or started. It's basically his thing. Okay, all of a sudden happened 6 years ago. He said, oh, it's global health and all that kind of stuff, and that's the name of the organization, all kind of stuff. And we're trying to just help, and that's simply a lie. Bill Gates has said many times that for example, he said that word that starts with a V, I'll just say that, I can't even say the word, okay? That word that starts with a V, Bill Gates has actually said that those things, okay, can help reduce the world's population. He actually talked about, if you look online, I'm not going to put a video up, because that video can make this video disappear if I pull a video up. He basically said, the way that we stop overcrowding, overpopulation, is through V. Just literally what the man said. Okay, so that's all you need to know about this guy. All right, that's all that you should need to know about Mr. Bill Gates. So we're gonna start the video here. We're not gonna make this too long, y'all. Thank you for watching. Please share this video wherever you can. Twitter, I was on Twitter for some of this video. YouTube, wherever you can. Facebook, share the video. Hit the like button. It helps a lot so the video can be seen online. Subscribe to the channel. God bless. Peace.